Welcoming you back to crypto's juiciest news. Are you feeling bullish? Moo! Bitcoin at 104,000 American dollars. We might be seeing that final little thrust push up momentarily before we start to like jitter around and then hover around the zone. It's actually very nice, friends. Bitcoin going above 100K, squeezing a lot of people out. It's really nice. Ethereum's price, friends, hitting 2,500 American dollars. Over the weekend, it pretty much almost literally touched 2,600, which is great. But now we're going to wait for the CME to pretty much to open, and then we can continue on the week. The ETH-BTC ratio, yes, it's just one green month. Has it bottomed? I don't know, man. I was hoping it bottomed here at 0.036, but we're just picking stuff. I really thought it bottomed here, man. You're just too cheap, dude. You're literally way too cheap. Nah, it went down a lower. So just to show you, friends, look at this. When I thought it was really cheap, stupidly cheap, that's what markets can do. It can drop another 50%. That's why, like, even a 2x leverage, you're not safe. Okay, if you have no stop. Even with the 2x leverage. If you're 2x leveraged and the thing drops 50%, you're wiped out. Exchange takes your money. Okay. The best thing to do, friends, what I've found is, look, not even what I found. This is statistically. It's the hardest, but this is what you do. You literally, you buy as much spot as you can, and then you wait forever. Okay, now, we only listen to that part in the up-only part of the bull market. Yeah, I'll wait forever. Diamond hands, wag me, hodl, I'm going to make it. I believe in something. Yeah, of course. But then going through, it's a totally different story, you know, because you live day by day. You don't live, this chart's monthly. You know what I mean? You don't live month by month. Oh, every month. No. Every day, it's another day. And when there's FUD, the FUD doesn't go away in 6 seconds. Okay? You know this, right? The FUD comes out. There's big influencers you respect. They're saying, oh, it's going to keep going worse. It's worse and worse and worse. We got another 2 years of this pain. You're stupid. You should have subscribed to me. You should have been like Bitcoin, full Bitcoin portfolio, you know? And then other influencers are saying, oh, those dirty altcoins. Altcoins are stupid. By the way, sign up to my Bybit leverage trade and exchange stuff. You know, oh, there's only a 1% win rate. So 99 out of 100 of you are going to lose money statistically, factually. But guess what? I'm rich. I'm living in Dubai. Ha. Bitcoin. They all hide behind the Bitcoin logo, even though they're feeding you trash. So I know it's tough to navigate this space, friends. I'm telling you, like, I don't back away just because a couple of people come in and cry. Who are you, bro? You didn't exist in my life yesterday, and you're probably not going to be around tomorrow. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. What I'm doing is long-term buying and holding. That includes going through trashy business cycle ISM stuff. That includes going through Bitcoin leading what seemingly feels like forever. I don't care, dude. Things get really expensive in markets. Yeah, they can blow you out to the upside and they can blow you out to the downside. Okay, that's why I'm telling you now with altcoins, just be careful of selling too early. That's what I'm saying. It's a trampoline, dude. It's a rubber band trampoline. Look how far the pain's gone through. Okay, I'm just saying be careful of selling too early. I mean, look, take profit. Be careful of cut and reversing, all right? Don't think, oh, now I'm going to put on shorts. Oh, they're going up. They're too expensive. Friends, I've even got a prophecy. GCR, the famous GCR, I think is going to get bearish too early. Yeah, I've had a prophecy for a long time about that. Okay, I think everyone's going to look to him and they're going to think it's over. And then it's going to be me with my bull head again. I don't know why I see something like that. Because that's what happens, friends. Once you bink something the first time, because you know in 2021, you got insanely rewarded for being bullish, for being bearish way too early. Yeah, you got insanely rewarded. That's not normal crypto though. Normal crypto is if you are even bearish like 1 second too early, 1 second, you're finished. You're literally finished. This is the Bitcoin price chart with some Fibonacci's 8-hour chart showing you. So we are around these zones, friends. There might be one more push, a fake out through the top, and then you go bam, now we go sideways, and then we're ready to go up, just to create that cute little bull flag. Now, all of us are waiting for this to continue. This is the others chart. Remember, this is others USD, okay? Others USD, I've written it right here. We survived blood moon. Now there's another blood moon in September. These two chart patterns, friends, these are the previous 2 cycle fractals, just to show you how behind we are. My gosh. See, we were meant to, friends. Oh my gosh, you know, this is meant to, like, this is how depressing it was. This is meant to start in January of this year. Bro, that's bad, dude. That's really bad. My gosh. Yeah, friends, that's meant to be it, by the way. This is literally, this is meant to start at the beginning of the year. Look how disgusting we are. We are down 82% from where we would be in the other cycles. So right now, multiply your portfolio by 5. That's where you should be. That's crazy, dude. That's worst case, by the way. That's the one of the low ones. Buy now. Buy. That's the worst one. Divide by, times it by 5 right now. It's actually, friends, it actually should be more. It's more like times by 10, actually, by this point. No, it is times by 10. No, actually, sorry, times by 20. I'm not joking, times by 20. Because we're down like 50% from the beginning of the year. We should show you. Now we're down 20. Yeah, so times it by like maybe 14, around there. Yeah, that's the real number. Multiply your number, your portfolio. So let's say you have 100K in your account. You should have 1.4 million. Even was the previous cycles. I'm not kidding. All right, but then it was the top, you know, because you're probably holding stuff. Everyone's saying, don't sell now. We're going to keep going. That was the end. Something to think about. I'm going to go through some juicy news here with you. This is Bitcoin dominance, friends. Bitcoin dominance still does this little weekly candle out here. It came back. It filled the wick up here. We have a new video from Ben Copen calling for Bitcoin dominance 70%. And Bitcoin a crash below 64K. Ethereum a crash below $1,000. So it's always interesting, friends. I love learning and seeing everyone's perspective when everyone comes out here. So we're just going to go through a bit of that later. But for now, let's check out our guiding star, others BTC. So pretty much, I guess what all the bears, like Ben Copen, what they believe is, see, we just had 5 red. They think this is going to be a fake out, and then we're going to go down again. And what that means is your altcoin's going to lose another, he thinks you're going to lose another 80%. So he thinks Bitcoin's going to lose like 40%, right? Your altcoin's going to lose another 80 to 90%. But that's, yeah, man, that's tough because alts have been trashed the whole time. But what I've been telling you is I still take the other side of that. I don't give a shit. I don't care if they crash again lower and lower and lower next. Because if you miss it, bro, it's literally game over. Yeah, you've wasted the whole cycle. You know how fast these things can happen as well. So this is what's going to happen, friends. You don't get to, like, okay, if you're wrong, bro, in the next 5-6 months, you don't get to buy these prices, right? If you're expecting this, right, friends, by the way, just to show you, it's because you're long with me, a lot of you are long. You think as this starts going up that they start buying. No, they don't. Absolutely no. No, they don't. Why? They are expecting minus 80% lower. So if there's a coin right now at 10 cents, because you're long it, you are happy when it's at 30 cents and you think they're all going to buy it. No, they're not. You're long it's 10 cents right now. They're trying to buy it at 2 cents. What's going through their head when it's at 20 cents? They go, this is 10 times higher than I want to buy. It's too expensive. It's a disbelief-hated rally. The only way this can resolve itself is either it really is the black swan again and we all get wrecked again, or they get wrecked with a disbelief-hated rally. Which it literally, but like, I'm not trying to tweak anybody else's nipples but my own. I'm just telling you, I've been in markets, dude. I know the price action. When you do this scam manipulation, dog shit, pathetic garbage here, Michael Saylor leverage, forcing this stuff down, eventually it runs out. Eventually, and it just goes up only. It literally just goes up only, doesn't let anyone in. Okay? Now, I'm not saying, like, there are retracement stuff. Hey, I'm just telling you, month to month, green, green, green. And then they're like, because they're all watching it, it skits. And then it goes up again. They watch it, it skits again. They're going to go, no, now it's over, now it's over, now it's over. And before you know it, we're like, wait a minute. We've just had like 4 green monthly candles. You've literally wasted the whole cycle. The whole cycle. But we're still waiting for that period of time. We don't know when it's going to be, you know? That's why, friends, doing what I do, I don't give a shit if it takes forever, dude. I don't care. Friends, markets, okay, it's hard enough to figure out ratios and prices. That's super hard, okay? If you want to do that with the time dimension, good luck. Okay, you want to do the timing and that? No. Good luck. Okay, you can do it short-term trading and stuff here and there. Your win rate's lower. Yeah, you're grinding away. Yeah. If you want to do your big home runs, you're not going to do it. The timing's all fluke. Okay. So if you're in spot, though, you give yourself infinite time. You do. Now, if that's why, if you're in spot, which means no leverage, all you got to do is just literally have enough food to eat every day. That's it. You just wait. Wait. That's all you got to do. You literally got to do nothing. All the money in markets is made in the waiting. You know who said that? Jesse Livermore. Not to be confused with Liverless, Livermore. Jesse Livermore, Reminiscences of a Stock Operator. You should read the book, but I'll just spoil it for you. Now he blows his brains out at the end, okay? Makes a billion, loses a billion, makes a billion, loses a billion, makes a billion, loses a billion, blows his brain out in the middle of a hotel lobby, okay? So all the money is made in the waiting. Okay, this is the global liquidity fractal from my friend Carlin Talks Crypto. It's coming out here. I'm just telling you right now, friends, I have shown you Andrei Jikh and everyone else. They're all, the FOMO, the crowd is really hungry at this chart. They're going to put on leverage to get this in. And it's funny, they're not going to touch altcoins. They're putting in Bitcoin leverage. That's why in my world, friends, my world, and I know how these predators think. I know, if you're watching, friends, if you are, let's say, this is what they do, friends. They can access, you remember Genesis Trading and all these other scum BTC brokers? That's what the manipulators do. The manipulators, it's basically just big in hedge funds and traders. They try to find if everyone's trapped. They use their own proxies. They go, oh, people are long here. So they go borrow off Genesis Trading. Let's go borrow like 5,000 BTC. Let's wait for a weekend. They wait for, let's wait for S&P 500, just have one daily close, wait for the weekend, they wait for the try to time it right on some sort of weekend. They get the 5,000 BTC, send it to one of the exchanges to start dumping it, bang, 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 while they put their future short and try to cascade it. So that's why it would be funny if we did, instead of, say it was to go up, we continue, everyone thinks the next pop is coming, everyone's like, oh, well, we're going to go up, but then we actually go, near, bang, like that. That'll be funny. And then it'll be funny if on this recovery, Ethereum is actually closer towards its high. That would be the most painful scenario of all, where Bitcoin, the leverage longers, following all the global liquidity students to the T, because that's what they do, friends. Everyone's like, oh, it's going to go up, then it's going to go down, then it's going to go up, then it's going to go, like they really want to follow it. They're really desperate for an indicator that just tells them what comes next. That's why people, their fear of unknown kills them in markets. Their fear of unknown. It's always the fear of the unknown. Now, I'm going to crack on with some cute news, friends. So, Michael Chad Saylor has hinted at buying more Bitcoin. This is the Saylor tracker. He's got $58 billion portfolio here. His average price is $68,500. Remember, just one of my, I guess, exotic warning signs now. Don't want to hang too much on it, but yeah, I want his average price. If it gets above 100,000, I'm like, okay, watch out. This is, hey, just be careful. Okay, it would be nice. It goes above 100, and then everyone thinks it's dangerous. But then he blows it up to like 130. He just grabs so much money to get in. That would be the best, because then you definitely know it's gonna squeeze him. If you get just to 100, not gonna do much, right? It's gonna come back. Maybe trades. Oh, but actually, I better not say that, because yeah, it could always go back down to 70. Why can't it? You know, that's another thing as well. So we'll see. Michael Chad Saylor, right? So this $58 billion portfolio, it's kind of funny, man. He's only up 50%, bro. He's only up 50%. You know, his first purchase was at 10K Bitcoin. So that's up 10x. But his whole thing is only up 50% because his DCA bought a lot. He has bought more money in this little box than he has in the first 4 years. Okay? So he only bought 16 billion here, and now I think he's bought like 28 billion in here now. He's buying more and more, and he's going to add 84 billion. They just announced another $84 billion. They're probably doing the big purchases. I'm always thinking, bro, who's giving you all these money? Who are these people giving you all this money? And I realize, again, Somi. You know who's giving them all the money? Cuckolds. The hotel cuck chair people. People who are looking at 4 years of Bitcoin dominance going up, who are saying, I can't wait to give you $84 billion of this. I can't wait. Yes, it's all set up. It's all easy. You got to think of it from their perspective, friends. If you're an institution and you're doing this, you think like, oh yeah, this is the best decision of my life. When really, what are the smart institutions doing? Which you won't be able to do because you got a water cooler, you got to go with a boob job, you got to pay for the receptionist. You know what I mean? You got to pay for the cleaners on the floor, all these other stuff that has nothing to do with basically making money. Okay. The smart ones, which are very, very rare. So out of like maybe 100 of these institutions, one of them is like, you know what? Let's go look at Ethereum. Let's go look at Ethereum. Let's go find a way so we can set up something in a country or a structure where we can long Ethereum on Binance or Coinbase's like business desk. Let's go do the hard route. let's go around about this MicroStrategy thing out here. Let's us just go do that. That's the winner right there. Not following the sheep crowd. The sheep crowd is like, hey, here's billions of dollars, come buy BTC, give me this little yield thing. They mint another Ponzi token because they're all stacking themselves. Now, the thing is, they're not done yet, right? Because it takes a while for them to do all the signatures. With us, crowd in altcoins, you can go overbought, within 3 months. But for these institutions, it takes them 3 months just to get through all the board, to teach everybody what's going on. They have to go through risk and compliance and legal stuff. They got to get everybody to read all the contracts, So it's very interesting, the different timing of how these things work. In more Kraken news, friends, the White House says China is very eager to engage in talks and rebalance trades with US of A. So, man, it is kind of funny, just these words, man. They want to kill each other. Like, World War III. Friends, everybody was talking about World War III. Do you remember? A month ago. They were literally saying, this is how they all start. They all start with a trade war. They said World War II started with a trade war. So did World War I. Every major war starts. They stop trading with each other. That's how it starts. And now they're like, hey, befriend. White House says more trade deals could be announced this week. Treasury Secretary Bessent says the US made substantial progress in trade talks with China. Something I heard, friends, I think you'll find it very interesting. Always listen to Secretary Bessent, okay? He's a degen like us. He understands markets and bonds and yield curve stuff. And I think he traded. He used to be like hedge. He understands markets, right? And liquidity. He is even Arthur Gaze, our favorite bear, who's now bullish. Arthur Hayes, friends. He said he doesn't even listen to J Powell commentary. He listens to Bessent. Bessent, I think he's the new, is he the new, Janet Yellen? I think, right? The Treasury Secretary. So basically just watch him. So he's like, deal's going to get made. We're going to do this. So he's the dude. Because it's the new money printing scheme. The money printing, remember, used to be QE from the printers, from the central bank to save everything. Now it's too, I guess, inflationary in terms of it sends a signal to the rest of the world that the US bonds are not as strong because now they learn, it's just the central bank buying it, right? Right? Because basically they've done it for too long. People start to learn. So now they're just going to make a new scheme. What's the new scheme? Oh, this is global liquidity. We have the collateral and this and that. It's funny. I saw I made macro videos here for you showing you how all the global liquidity works. It's literally all back to the money printer again. Literally nothing changes. But it's just, we got a word called collateral, and then this goes to the treasury bill, and this goes to the euro dollar, and this goes to an offshore account. No, bro. Yes, bro, but no, bro. No, it's literally, where does it all come from? The money printer. The central bank presses the keyboard button, and just gives you what you call collateral. They use this word collateral because it's like, whoa. Oh my gosh, collateral. Where the collateral come from? It's just digits on the computer, bro. It's literally a bank goes, hey, add a zero, send it over. That's your collateral now. See us? You're now allowed to write it on your balance sheet that you're over collateralized, and now you can go hand out loans again. I'm not making this. Is literally how it works. This is why Bitcoin just keeps going up, because people are figuring out that's how it works, right? Russian President Putin and Ukrainian President Zelenskyy to meet in Turkey on Thursday to discuss a ceasefire. It's kind of funny. I saw some bearish people saying, Putin doesn't want a ceasefire, blah, blah, blah. I'm just thinking, bro, your head is just so messed up. You're like totally in the wrong place, man. There's just an abundance of altcoin opportunity to be getting long in. And all you're thinking about is, Putin's not going to listen. Who are these people, bro? You spend your whole life having an opinion when no one cares. Literally no one cares. You impact nothing. Nobody cares. Oh, man. It's just amazing, friends. Just the dictator television box stuff, it really does work. The media is the most powerful thing in the world. That's it. It's a brainwashing, bro. It's literally the messages in your brain. Indoctrination. It really is a ninth wonder of the world. I see it on Twitter. Man, I know we all have an opinion. You want to have an opinion, but really, do you, bro? Have an opinion with your wallet. How about that? You got a marketplace now. Crypto is the greatest technology ever. You can actually go and take bets, dude. You can go take bets that the current FUD thing is FUD distraction. How do you take a bet? You go long spot. That's how you take the bet. That's how you fade it. Do you know that? That's how you be contrarian. When you're holding a long position through Trump and all the China stuff out here, you're literally taking a contrarian bet. You're holding, yeah. You're just getting to the end of the calendar date. Yes, we always keep moving the goalposts, pushing it forward, but that's what you have to do, man. This is markets. There might be a big pot of gold waiting for us at the end of rainbow because we've waited so long. And by the way, that's what markets do. So, United States announces trade deal with China. It's meant to be some just-in breaking news. Not the market's moving out here. It's Wanker Guru doing their, oh, just in, there's a trade deal. Who gives a shit, bro? Sit down. Here's Michael Chad Saylor. He might be our key, friends. Our key to getting that 250k BTC. With all of it on leverage, yeah. Look, friends, I know I just tweaked my nipples on the internet, and I know I'll sit on squeaky chairs, but I can feel it already. People long Bitcoin in the next bear market. I feel like you're going to have to be holding through some stress, man. You're going to have to be holding through like, oh, this company has to unwind their Bitcoin leverage. I have a feeling you're just going to have to hold through that with me. Yeah. And you're going to feel like the biggest idiot because you're going to think that just to let you know, Vance, if altcoins go up so much, just trampoline from Bitcoin dominance going up, that's what happens. There's going to be there's going to be like multiple waves of it, and it's going to just feel like, oh crap, bro, we got to unwind so much junk. I'm praying though we get a 250k BTC. You know, Crypto Cobie, he made this tweet, right, which is similar to Richard Hart in terms of their Bitcoin 250k prediction. So Cobie said the road from 80k to 100k is hard, okay, which is exactly what's been happening. This is 80k to 100k. The road here is hard. And then he says the road from 100k to 250 is easy, okay, parabolic. So pretty much that's what it implies. It implies this thing is, oh crap, it's really, really, really tough. And then yes, the 250k. Now I know he's just thrown 250k. I wonder if a Richard Hart thing has influenced him with that. I do wonder. But yeah, it's an interesting point. And look, I'm just gonna have to go with them, man. Richard knew Bitcoin was gonna hit 60k. He guessed it in freaking 2019, bro. Like before the money printing, before the zombie, before everything. And then this is what made it an amazing top call. Even with the money printing, infinite QE, 0% rates, even with that, he stuck to his price call. That's the wild part. He gave zero probability to the QE affecting anything, which is exactly what you're meant to do. The crowd doesn't know that though, right? Like that's why if Bitcoin hits 250k and then the Fed does a big rate cut, that's why a lot of people, it's probably going to like sit up there and distribute. But a lot of people are going to go, oh, they just cut rates. So Bitcoin did like a 3x to 250k. It should do another 3x to 750. Right? See what I mean? That's what you got to just be careful of. But that's why you're long now. You don't have to be careful of that now. You're already turbo long. The people have to be careful. The people are going to be buying in the next 3 to 6 months. Maybe by now as well, friends, Donald Trump has released, he said he's going to do some major, my next Truth Social will be one of the most important and impactful I've ever issued. Enjoy. I got a feeling it's going to be a letdown. You know what I mean? He's going to, it's just Trump stakes. I'm waiting for Trump 2 coin. What are you waiting for? We've also got PlanB, friends. PlanB made, called him Plan Bitch. His stock to flow model. He's actually got a new line of cope, which I'll show you. So he has shifted his expectations again. In his words, he said, we are 1 year in and we have 3 years to go. So it is true though, technically does that. But what he's talking about, see this line here? What he's talking about, and because it's a 4-year cycle, he's now saying, oh, the Bitcoin halving was in 2024. The target to hit for 500k, 450k, it's now by 2028. Even though in the cycles here, it was after the Bitcoin halving that caused the big pump. right? So now he's saying, well, you know, technically we can go through all the way to like to 2028, right before the halvening, 2028, January, February. That's a month before the halvening over there. So we don't know, man. We don't know. We'll see. We'll see the exotic top signals. Remember, friends, PlanB, he got it like, he had this guess. He got it like monstrously wrong on his like guess. I don't know. He said this is not a perfect prediction and stuff like that. But remember, he was expecting from December. So we hit this November 80K. And he's expecting us, I think, right now to be at 350K. So he thought we're gonna do that. I think he thought we're gonna be 400K by now. And then go down, and then we hit $1 million by the end of this year. So as you can see, it's strongly diminished. Yeah. And PlanB, his stock to flow model, I remember CTO Larson cited that was the #1 cause of people getting wrecked. He said he spent like, you know, 2 days going through like 1,000+ emails. He goes, thousands of messages. He goes, the thing that everyone lost the most money on, he goes, it wasn't scams, it wasn't altcoins, it wasn't grifters, it wasn't pump and dumps, it wasn't leverage trading. He goes, the thing that actually killed everyone was PlanB stock to flow model. So eye-opening. He goes, it wasn't even close. It was literally 90%. So that's why, friends, like in life, you actually realize, you know, the most dangerous people, they're the ones who just show you no emotion and they're always nice. They're the most dangerous people, right? You know, the quiet ones are the ones you got to watch out for. It's literally a saying. We have that. Well, in markets, the dangerous ones are the ones who think they're really smart. Yeah, because then they fool themselves into thinking that they no longer apply to the law of gravity. Okay, so that's why also Michael Saylor, yes, he's going to usher in hopefully higher and higher prices for Bitcoin on his leverage, but also he might be his own worst enemy. Like, we might find, like, it might, like, how does this stuff end, friends? How does this stuff end? Does it end with him walking away? No, he's got no off button. So he's just going to keep going into the wall. It only ends with him salesman talking bigger and bigger and bigger accounts until he gets the wrong person excited at the wrong time. That's how it ends. Yeah, because friends, you're just going around the world and you don't stop until you freaking onboard literally everybody. But unfortunately, you're doing leverage. Well, yeah, that's how it ends. You sign up the wrong country, the wrong Saudi, the whatever it is, the wrong people, the wrong government you convince. What I mean by wrong, not that anything bad's going to happen to him personally, but I mean like wrong as in someone who's had FOMO built up for a long time. Right? Like, you know, like you don't understand this, right? There are countries and companies and institutions out there. They're not first anymore. They're coming like, you know, they're coming third, fourth, fifth, and they want to go back to former glory. And what they might just get the spark in their eye. They go, oh, Bitcoin's 200K. It's going to go to 10 million. If we go and do all this leverage and do it now, it's definitely going up there. We're going to be fine. You see? So the best part about all of this, friends, is we're going to crank it. Best part is we've got a long way to go. Distance-wise. Probably not time-wise, of course. But we've got a long way to go because, you know me, friends, remember, I can... Actually, I'm just thinking, like, remember, friends, I just have this habit. I can pick stuff like this and I'm like, don't worry. This is going to happen in like 3 to 5 years, 10 years, and just starts happening. So I think, you know, all me talking to you about Marcus said he's going to onboard the wrong people at the wrong time. Mark my words. Yeah, he's got no off button. What does no off button mean, friends? Okay, what does no off button mean? There are people out there, they don't have an off button with alcohol. They literally drink till they pass out. Well, that's drunken Michael Saylor, right? That's why we have PulseX, by the way. No humans get hurt in the buying and burning of this. Okay, of PulseX. So we have a long way to go. It's probably in the process right now of onboarding. Yeah, it's probably happening like right now, and they're probably feeding the FOMO right now. And it's going to provide some great signals for us because we're going to be like, wait a minute, you just bought $80 billion of Bitcoin and Bitcoin dominance is still going down? I mean, bro, you're using leverage and you can't even make it go up. That's what we're going to be looking for. That's going to be the big confirmation. And no one's going to believe it. No one's going to believe it. That's what happens, friends, when markets, when you are stuck to one way, when you're like any of these guys saying altcoins are dirty, altcoins are scams, which I joke, I say they are. I'm turbo long, bro. We say that just words, you know what I mean? When you actually be like, no, give me the money. Give me the money. Are they going to pivot? I wonder. I wonder if they're going to pivot. That'd be interesting. We'll see. Now, where are we going to go from here? A very interesting question. I've noticed something. This is enough for me to like point it out to you friends. Most people, will Ethereum go back to $4,000 this bull run? Like that number is so low. By the way, I'm not just singling out Lady Pizza Girl and my friend Lady Magical Druid, right? So not just singling that. I'm just this number is so low and it's such a joke. And even I look at it and I'm thinking, yeah, is $4,000 too much for this piece of crap? Even I'm thinking that, right? That's a joke. And so it leads me to believe the trampoline effect could be huge for Ethereum. Enormous. So everyone's making so much fun of it. It's now a joke at $4,000. I do wonder if this creates some sort of FOMO shock. Maybe instead of topping out at 8K, we actually go to that 14K. Now, 14K Ethereum would be if Bitcoin got a $250,000 BTC, that is an ETH BTC ratio of 0.55, which is exactly where it was at the spot ETF. So if the charts, if one day, right here, see this Ethereum spot ETF, if Ethereum actually gets back up here and Bitcoin is 250K, Ethereum is 14. So that'll be great if we get the ifs though, the ifs, because there's a chance, man. What if we just do that? What if it's just garbage? What if it's just like poop? And what if we only stop here in the freaking bull? And then we got to be buying this in the next bear. And then we run early. You know, that's another scenario. Now, not everybody is bullish, friends. We have Ben Cobie with the new video. Ethereum, you will all go home. You're all going home, Ethereum. You will all owe money to the blockchain. So, a lot of people still bearish. He's calling for a crash below 64K. Ethereum below $1,000. Go home, Ethereum. See that? I've got a cute little home emoji. You're all going home. So, you got to think though, you know. Always got to think, are we all too bullish? Will Ethereum finally go home after all these years? So he believes we're repeating the 2020 pattern where March 2020 Black Swan into zombie virus out here. So that's what he thinks we are in right now. He thinks we are in the little fake out where there's going to be the failed rally. So this was what happened. We went up here. This was Q1 of 2020. January, February, March. Bitcoin hit 7,200. I remember up here or something. And then bang, or 10K, I think Bitcoin hit. This is Ethereum's price chart. Then it goes all the way back down, just breaks all the way through. So a breaking of this, you know, goes down, below $1,000. So he's like, yeah, you're all going home. It could happen, friends. Like altcoins have been shocking. The business cycle has been garbage. It could be that, friends. We don't know, man. Like Trump saying the economy is going to boom, go buy stocks. You know, weird stuff can happen. It's just markets, man. Like what roll the dice scenario are we getting? Or are we living the generational top of the stock market right now? And then we need like a reset for them to continue the AI run. You know, you just don't know, right? But I think about my opportunity cost, and the risk of missing it. What if it's just another 4-year cycle? What if altcoins just start going up only from here now? They've had 5 red in a row on others BTC. You can never get that back. That's literally, friends. By the way, most of you, which shocks me, most of you, my audience, came at the top of 2021. Most of you bought in Feb, March, April of 2021. The actual top. Yeah. Wouldn't you have loved to buy like 4 months later? Yeah, you'd be up 15x. You wouldn't have sold. Trust me, you wouldn't have sold. But you just buy the top. You got up like a 2x, it's all over, right? Okay. So that's where most people came in. That's what happens though. Everything, friends. Like, even like, let's take an extreme example. Even pDAI, the cult within a cult. I mean, it's so much of a cult. The other cult of PulseChain people, like, they're not going to pay attention to it unless this thing is like back up to like, 1 or 2 cents. Do you know what I mean? Like, even the cult is like shitting on this own coin. You know what I mean? So that's just how it is. We simply just don't pay attention to stuff until everything goes up and up and up. You don't hear about it, right? That's why it helps to have like a big scope field of coins just to look at. Yeah, but then you don't even know what you're looking for because there's 50,000 coins. They're all funny. They're all JPEGs. There's a community here. There's a product here. And the game's mostly random, man. I hate to say it. There's a lot of random elements of that. But there's some stuff you can't pay me to walk away from them. I have to get in. PulseChain, for example. Like, you contrarian, it ticks every single freaking box. And the stuff that was holding you back about the legal clarity, Richard Hart smashed the SEC, literally defeated him. What excuses you got left? The only excuse now is that the price is down, which I knew was your whole reason in the first place for not owning this stuff. That's what you want, friends. You're like, okay, if I print this thing 30x higher, you call me a god? Okay, which means I get in now. That's it. Yeah. pDAI community. We know, right? pDAI gets to 1 cent. Everybody calls Somi a peg nipple god. And everyone starts spamming me as the avatar. There you go. What if it goes to 10 cents? Then you start saying, oh, the prophecies were true. That's literally all it is. Just price goes up. Just try and imagine in your head, oh, people reverse engineer how you got there. Are we all too bullish on the market right now? Or is this standard influencer analysis for Ben Copen? When, and his friends, it's true, friends. Like, yeah, he does a good hustle. Hustle, friends. Like, he's got a good business. It's making at least $9 million a year from you guys, from everyone subscribing. He's paying $1,000 plus for, like, different risk metrics and whatever. Just still price derivation stuff out here. So, but you got to remember at that point, what's at stake here? Think about, hey, so you can't just say, hey, go recommend me an altcoin. He's like, well, if I recommend you guys an altcoin and I look like a fool, it hurts my $9 million a year business. So no, because I'm going to turn your $400. What's your upside? I turn your $400 to 40 grand, or it goes to zero. Yeah. If it goes to zero and it hurts my other stuff, that's too much of a risk because I make nothing out of it. Get it? And it's not even his skill set. You see what I mean? Incentives. Everyone's got incentives. And, it's funny. This is funny and true. Okay. The people, friends, the people who make the most from their audience missing out on altcoins and getting wrecked, yeah, they are the ones reminding everybody, altcoins are scams, Bitcoin, altcoins are scams. Friends, look, this was the top signal of 2021. This was Chris, right? And this is literally Chris, right? Who literally, look at this.
House recently published a photo and people were asking.
He bought his house for 25 million in Dubai, right?
Welcome to my new house. Recently published a photo and people were asking how I was able, after driving in a taxi 4 years ago, to live in a house like this. Here you can see this is the car of my
multiple cars,
already some electric floorboards, and with them I'm and in Terrace Europe, of course, also.
He was making $10 million a month from Bybit leverage commissions. Yeah. And then we heard a rumor Carl the Moon had $100 million a month. But we don't know the exact numbers. Even like Cobie heard that. $100 million a month. From what? Leverage trading? No. From people losing. Okay. You're paying commissions. You see? So you see what I mean, friends? So like this is just crazy. That's why, friends, when I see Bitcoin 2025 conference and they have Uncle Peter Schiff as a guest speaker, who's literally fighting the shit out of Bitcoin, who we have the Tether CEO, who has a CBDC central bank currency blacklist function. And then you have, like, just as funny, Bitcoin dominance 70%, 99%, 500% Bitcoin dominance target, guys. When I see that, I'm like, dude, the richest people hide behind the Bitcoin logo and everyone's getting dicked. But they keep pointing to the altcoins being scams. That's why it's crazy. Like, bro, you're making $10 million of people losing money on leverage trading, and you're like yelling at someone who's like grifting people for like $16,000. It's wild, man. That's why everyone hides behind the Bitcoin logo. But they can only do it because Bitcoin dominance is going up. They can only do it because of that. But the truth is going to come out, man. The truth is going to come out. I'm going to tell everyone. As I tell you, I go, bro, no one has grifted more people out of money than Bitcoin logo people. And it's not even close. Go look at all the exchanges. They all funnel people to leverage exchanges. That's part of Bitcoin maxi life. Friends, there are Bitcoin maxis, like Bitcoin, this is Matthew Cratter. They're selling courses on how to trade. It's like, wait a minute. The only way to buy a Bitcoin is to just hand in your passport and your license to an exchange. And like, yeah, that's fine. Bro, you're meant to be FU money. How come you guys don't have a solution that you're building up? Don't ask questions. So look, we've got to be like professional about this as well. It's just part of the cycle. Yeah, but see how they're not doing it because they're getting rewarded by Michael Saylor, turbo leverage long. They're getting rewarded for that because the price is going up. When the price is going down, the narrative is going to come and crush them. And so begins the cycle all over again. Then people are going to realize, what the hell am I holding Bitcoin for? I've got to rotate this stuff out. But they're all saying it'll never happen. It'll never happen. It'll never happen. That's why I'm long altcoins with you because I know it will happen. Not even know. I know it will happen, bro. It's humans. People don't watch other people making money without trying to act and do something. And we know why that happens. They try some leverage trading. They try some this and try some that. They buy some call options. They buy MicroStrategy. Then they realize that guy who bought Peanut is up 40x on his money. And they're like, okay, that's it. I'm getting into altcoins. That's what hits the blowing point. And they get really, really loud. And so we onboard the next round of bear market copers. So expecting a Bitcoin dominance to 70% from here and altcoins making everyone bankrupt if they're not holding 100% BTC portfolio. So it could be that, friends. Like, who's got, like, just think about that, man. These people are making millions and millions and millions, and that's okay. You know, it's all right to do that. I'm just telling you, they're not going to get you to pivot at this magical point where they go, okay, I've now been right for 4 years. Now's the time to go 100% in alt. They're just never going to do that. They're never going to do that. Because you're paying them too much not to do that. Instead, what they'll do is, halfway through, they'll do some sort of cope. 1 in 10 people write the long essay going, I was wrong, etc. Time to move on. Other people will be like, oh, no, but you shouldn't have been all in and all out. Or you should have known this, or you should have done that. Or they'll find the way to momentum trade something. Like, it's just... But don't worry about them. They're going to figure themselves out. I care about you. You're going to miss out. All right, and obviously everyone watching my channel has value content in crypto. You're not going to miss out. I'm talking about everyone else out there. Yeah. All you other people, they will all miss out. You will miss out. You'll realize the retardios who were long and strong in the face of all fear and all uncertainty, you'll realize they were right. You just have to believe. It's a believer's cycle. Only way to find out how this movie ends is to keep watching the movie. So there's a silver lining to all of this, friends. See this Bitcoin dominance going down. Remember, Bitcoin dominance going down. It's Bitcoin's like percentage is the size of the crypto industry, right? I want you to think about this. We have to unwind all of Altcoin Daily, Ben Copen, MMCrypto, Coin Butthole, Incest Answers, so many KOLs. I'm talking the big numbers, 700K, 500K plus followers, millions of followers. We have to unwind all those people, millions and millions of people who are turbo long altcoin, turbo long Bitcoin. Right, they're all turbo long Bitcoin. I see it on their polls. I report on their polls. None of them have any Ethereum exposure. None of them. So if we do rise from here, you got 700,000 at least Copen subscribers realizing they have to FOMO deploy their Bitcoin into buying altcoins. and then 1 million from MMCrypto. Their audience went, then you realize, oh, you guys don't actually believe in Bitcoin. You're just a bunch of dick riders. You're literally just the crowd. Yes, you're literally just the crowd. You were only buying Bitcoin because it was going up. You were only selling altcoins because they were going down. That's it. You didn't actually do any fundamental analysis on it as well. You didn't measure any of them by a meme cult religion. You didn't actually stand in front of any train. You saw 1 or 2 red monthly candles on others BTC. You actually just G'd it out and waited for it to get better. Yes, but you don't know that until after the move happens, right? Because right now they think they're geniuses because they think they're going to get another 80% crash. We'll see though. Maybe you do. Maybe you do get an 80% crash, or maybe others BTC just starts rocketing, just goes up only, and by the time you realize you're wrong, they're buying the 5th or the 6th green monthly candle in a row. Wouldn't that be funny? Like and subscribe, bell button, or catch you soon.